Hi, I'm Ann and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a different type of video than I usually post because I'm going to be showing you a setup for a bullet journal for my academic year. I have tried every single planner under the sun, it feels like, at least. I have tried both typical college planners that they sell at college university bookstores. I have tried just basic planners, and then I have also just made my own planner, and I've never been happy with any planner I have had. Here's my problem with just buying conventional planners. You can't choose what pages are in there. You kind of just buy it pre-made, and because of that I find there's quite a lot of pages that you never end up using, which drives me crazy because I like to be efficient and practical, and I don't like to get something and spend $14 on it if I'm only going to use 2/3 of the book. So last year I decided to just make my own, but the only thing I did is I did a weekly journal, and that's all I did. So I just had my schedule and the homework I had to do, but I didn't have any other pages saying other things that I had to keep track of. So because of that, I ended up using like 2 or 3 notebooks, and I've used 2 or 3 notebooks every single year since I started college, but I haven't been happy with what I've done. So this year I'm going to attempt to do a bullet journal, but it won't exactly be a typical journal. I've noticed that bullet journals are usually organized according to the month. Here's my problem with that is I don't think of time according to months. Usually I think of it according to time period. So for example, when I'm in college, usually I think of it according to semester. So let's say my fall semester this semester will start in August and it will end in December. I'm going to do a fall bullet journal setup. The months that will be covered in this bullet journal will be August, near the end of August because we're already into August to December. So I'm hoping that having a bullet journal will help me schedule things, especially since I'm going to be planning my wedding for February. So for this bullet journal, I want to plan it very precisely to fit in all the things I want to fit, to make it as perfect for me as possible, which is something I haven't done in the past because I've kind of just gone with whatever planners already are organized as. I have a list of pages that I want to include, and I have separated them according to long-term stuff and short-term stuff, so 2 different categories. I will leave timestamps down in the description if you just kind of want to jump around. I'm gonna pull you in. We're going to go through all the stuff I plan to use, the notebook, the equipment, any like decorations, stickers, markers, things like that. I'm pretty simplistic minimalist, but I do have a few things that I want to play along with. I may end up for next season just doing it a lot easier and minimalist. I'm going to take you through all the pages I have planned out. A lot of the inspiration I'm getting is from Pinterest, so I would try to credit as many people as possible. And then the final part of the video, I'll actually take you through a tour of everything. So let's get into it. This is the journal that I will be using. I got this from Hobby Lobby and they were having a 50% off sale. So I ended up getting this for like $7. It also has this in here, but besides that, it's just a basic journal. But the reason I specifically chose this one was because it was bigger than a lot of the bullet journals I saw. I don't want a tiny bullet journal because I want to fit a lot of stuff on there. I'm going to get to all the basic equipment. First and foremost, we've just got a ballpoint pen and pencil. If I want to add some color, I also have these super tip washable markers. Now, when it comes to stickers, I'm not a big sticker fan. I did buy one thing, but these I just had from previous things. I have just one for travel. This is just more of like for framing and things like that. I did specifically purchase this one because it has a lot of things that I think I would use. I got this from the Dollar Tree for $1. The only other couple things I'm going to use is I may use these page markers. The last thing I'm going to use is this. It is a container that has a lot of different measuring equipment. I ended up getting this at the Goodwill for like $3, I think. That is all the equipment I'm going to be using. Now we are going to get to the actual bullet journaling. Okay, first and foremost, we are going to just go ahead and do just a basic index in the beginning, just so I can keep track of where everything is. But I'm not going to fill anything in yet until I finish doing everything. So my plan for the first page, which is kind of going to be a monthly spread, but it is going to be a spread for the entire fall. I have a couple inspirations because I wanted to do a type of like tree line and then say fall underneath it, and then just say in small font the numbers. But I also want to have just random things that make me think of fall. My hope is that it's going to look okay. For this, I think I'm going to use these two orange colors as well as some brown. And let's get going. finished my first page. As you can see, I'm not perfectly happy with it because I think I made this lettering way too small, and I'm trying to do too much things on this page because I just kept going because I was like, ooh, this will look nice and this will look nice, and you know, all these random stickers will look nice, and I think it's just too much going on that takes away from the focus of this. So next season, I'll probably just decide on like one big picture as opposed to like a lot of little pictures. I still think it's cute. Doing your first bullet journal is more of a learning process anyway. Oh, and it didn't bleed through too bad. You can see it a little bit. I have actually a few trackers to plan. I have my budget tracker, I have my TBR and the books I've read tracker, and then I also have my book club tracker. I'm going to do those three, I think, here. And then I'm going to get to my classes in the next 4 pages. Second page, I think I'm going to make it my budget. And the inspiration I actually had for this budget page came from Anja Home on Pinterest. And that's all I'm going to do. This did not turn out well. I need to work on my calligraphy. I have horrible handwriting, so for me to do anything like this is, yeah, obviously bad. So next one we are going to do is a basic stack of books, and that is going to be for my TBR for my book club. So now we have just basic, simple. I will probably do it like on top of each other like this, and then I will do like the date afterwards. So book, author, date, something like that. So now we are going to go to next page. Okay, so for the next page, I wanted to do something that tracked my monthly reading. but I also wanted to do it for a long period of time. So instead of doing it just for a month, I want to do it from August to, I guess, December. What I'm going to do is I found this picture on Pinterest that is from Etsy, and it's by British Book Art, and it was brilliant because it has like this stack of books, but then it says, you know, January, February, March, and of course theirs is a entire year reading. And of course they don't have that many books in the stack, so it wouldn't work for me because, for example, January has only 10. So I read anywhere from like 10 to 20 books, so probably not enough for me. But I figure, you know, that will be a good beginning. This is actually possibly my favorite page I've done so far. I don't know, something about the colors, just it looks very fun. I would definitely change things, like separate August and September more because they're kind of bleeding into each other more. But for the most part, you know, and I tried different things. I think that I like the uneven stack of books more than I like the even stack of books. But, you know, obviously I tried different things. Some things worked, some things didn't. This obviously didn't work. And then I tried it again and that worked. And now we are going to get into the my class schedule is going to be on this page, and then we're going to start going into each of my individual classes. So I'm going to have one page devoted to each of my classes assignments. So for the next few pages, I'm going to be mostly taking my ideas from Elena Studies videos. She has a video on bullet journal ideas for students. I will link that video down in the description. I didn't like all her pages, but there were a few of them that I was like, ooh, I can tweak this. The first page I'm going to have is just like a weekly overview of class schedule. done with this, I'm going to just skip to when I have all the 4 pages done for each of my classes. So see you in a little bit. Okay, I am back and I just finished the 4 pages. I'm pretty basic. I realized that I did some things wrong. I still have a lot to learn about this whole bullet journaling, but I realized that the grade I don't really care about, and so I tried to add time here, and I was like, you know what, I don't need grade, I can just put in time here. So I guess this is what I ended up like wanting to do, was start date, end date, location, time, and then put this to do sticker there. The final and last pages we are going to be doing is the weekly spread. Now I did find one that I really enjoyed, just like very basic picture I found on Pinterest. It's from Reddit. I'm not sure who did it. I think we're going to do one of these spreads only to show you, and then I'll do the rest in my spare time. I think I'm going to start with the Monday that I start school. So I'm going to start with August 23rd. So that was a very quick, very simple. I may like put this down like a couple more lines, because as you can see, it's kind of high up here. So far, I really like this, you know, having the schedule, because my schedule is usually always shorter than like my task list. We're gonna go to the tour of what I did next. We are ready for the tour now. So this is my first time trying a bullet journal, and it's definitely more work than I thought it would be, but it's very pretty aesthetic. So I'm going to give you a quick tour, talk to you about the things I liked that I did, as well as the things that I hope to do better next time. And I think with bullet journaling, I've seen this on a lot of videos, is it's kind of a learning process. You kind of have to try and see what works for you. So this is, of course, my index. I went ahead and filled that out just like the pages, and then I have it under my categories. So like all the fall stuff will be under fall, and then I have my fall spread. There's a lot of things I do differently. I think I prefer like less busy and just having a couple like big pictures taking up the space, as opposed to like a lot of small ones. I don't hate this. I think it looks cute, but yeah, it's not perfect for me. And then I have my budget. That has not changed. It's pretty basic. Date, description of like what I purchased, and amount. I mentioned earlier that if it has a plus amount by it, that means that I've earned the money, and if it has a negative, that means I have spent the money. And I also added these couple of stickers just to make something interesting. So next we have my book club reading. These are all the books that were scheduled to read for my book club. I just wanted to all put them down. As it ended up not being perfect. For example, I put Mirror Mirror by Cara Delevingne on December, because there's 3 books that we have to read in November, and usually there's only 2 books. But so if I've read it, I would mark it with an X, so that means I've finished The Maidens. And if I DNF'd it, like this month, I DNF'd this. So yeah, so this is more than for fall, but I would just wanted to get them all on one page. It's very simplistic, but yeah, I liked this. I would add a little bit more space for each month, because it seems a little bit crowded, that's all. So next we have my monthly books. I really like this idea of having like all my books that I read in like a 5-month period on one page. However, I think I made it a little bit too small. You can see like this month I already finished The Maidens. You can see that I could barely write for how small of space I had. Now, obviously this is the smallest book, you know, on this page, but still it seems really small. And then I have my class schedule, just basic. Again, I would change, like I did 24 hours and I could easily have just done like every half hour instead of every hour, or given like extra space per hour. So yeah, I'd probably do that differently now. The next page is of course individual classes. I talked about when I was making it, like oopsies that I made and how I just like I kind of covered them up. I figured out how to streamline it by the third one, but you know, this is pretty basic stuff that I do. And yeah, so this is my ideal, where it would be start date, end date, location, time. The only thing I might add to this page that I didn't think of until after I finished it is just the professor's name, because I'm horrible at remembering the professor's name, especially their full name. And then I have the weekly spread, which I will continue to do on these pages. I have not filled it in, obviously, but it's very simplistic. So on this side, you're gonna put schedule. So for example, I would put 3 classes I have on Monday of that day. And then the task list might be read this thing, blah, 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 read this, etc. and go down the line. And then Saturday and Sunday are smaller because I don't need quite that amount. So yeah, that is, here, I will flip this. Ooh, probably horrible lighting. So that is my first attempt at a bullet journal. I would definitely love any tips that you guys can give. If any of you do bullet journals, any tips where you're like, oh no, you shouldn't have done that, or this will make it a lot easier. This took me a lot less time than I thought it would. Obviously, my artistic ability was not that great and my art was rather simple. But this only in total took me probably about 3 hours to do. Now, I do have my weekly spread that I need to continue on for, you know, the next few pages. This was definitely a different video, but it does have to do with, I guess, books. So yeah, I'm not sure if I cared at all for all the stickers I got. I actually think I just prefer the idea of just using like markers and just pen and pencil and just basic stuff. I think I prefer that more. Any ideas you have to recommend me as to like this would help or this would make it easier to do bullet journal, and for those who do active bullet journals, just let me know all your secrets. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this, see the ramblings of my academic life, you know, subscribe if you haven't already. And I post every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!